Hey, folks, we're back. The train, the bell, you hear the bell?
I hear the train coming.
We got the Blue Ridge Railroad. We're at Sycamore Crossing right here. Beautiful morning. Everybody has the jacket. You've got,
I got my hand warmers.
Hand warmers. I love it, though. It's
I got my clip-on mittens, too.
Huh?
Did you ever have clip-on mittens?
Well, you know, would you stop with this? Don't, not clip-on mittens, don't.
Yeah,
I know you did not.
He got rid of them.
No, I just have all these memories now that just flashed of my clip-on mittens. You know, there's a thing when you're young, you get clip-on mittens. When you get older, you got to get clip-on mittens.
Kind of like diapers.
Wait a minute. Let's. Oh my gosh, where did this go?
The technology in pull-ups is getting really good, though.
So I'm sitting here this morning and I'm thinking to myself, it's cold. I'm on with Dr. Wade. I'm like, there's a breeze. Where's the breeze? There's a fan over my head. I'm like, where's the breeze coming from? Hey, folks, this is Bruce, Rick, Jane, and I'm your host, BKP. We're at Sycamore Crossing here in Blue Ridge. And, okay, I don't know where you want. Let's start here, okay? Let's go this because we're in Georgia, and we're going to get a new U.S. Senator, okay?
Brian,
Brian,
that was on my list.
Is that on your list, Bruce?
Johnny Isaacs.
We're taking the easy stuff first, folks, because this is going to be a no-brainer.
Well, you know, we're going to get a new U.S. Senator. Johnny has retired, and we'll leave the criticism alone for today. Let everybody out there criticize when he retired and this, that, and the other. But Johnny is a long time. He has been. Let's see. He originally had Newt Gingrich's district, correct? He
Marietta.
was right down to Marietta,
Yep.
and then Newt took that, and then U.S. Senator. So Johnny is retiring Parkinson's and several other health concerns, but that gives Governor Brian Kemp an opportunity to appoint somebody, and so I'm going to come out of the box. I think. I mean, there's a lot of speculation all across the state. I think he'll appoint Doug Collins.
Oh, that was my guess.
And that's just, to me, that's easy.
Well, Collins said
you went with the lieutenant governor at first, and I'm thinking to myself, why is he going there when we got Doug Collins sitting here?
I have a reason why I think there's still a possibility that Jeff Duncan could be picked. Okay, I don't know. You got to realize there's something. First of all, when I go with the lieutenant governor, I don't want to get into some of my reasons why.
That's an internal thing,
right.
Truly.
But
under the Gold Dome, that's an internal thing.
Right. But I will say Jeff Duncan did win a statewide race. So you've got to think of whoever you appoint. There's a couple things here. Whoever the governor appoints has to win a statewide race because they're going to run in November.
Well, I think Doug Collins has become
a year in November.
No, this year.
This year.
2020.
2020.
Yeah. But yeah, the election's a year from now. He'll be appointed now.
Don't confuse me. Okay, I mean,
folks.
but I mean, don't get.
Whoa, I thought he was in for 3 years.
2020 special
Collins?
election.
Oh, special election.
It'll be
he
November.
Retired. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be November presidential election. It'll be on the ballot.
Okay.
Well, that means that Georgia's going to be in play with 2 senators.
Exactly.
Absolutely. The Democrats have already put that out.
Right.
Yeah.
They're saying this is our chance for take the. But anyhow, the thing is whoever the governor appoints has to be able to win a statewide election. Duncan has done that. That's one of the things I was looking at. But Collins has great name recognition right now.
No question.
And I would say in his, I hate to call it political career. I don't even like that. But I'd say in his political career, he's at the top of his game.
He is.
You know what I mean?
I mean, his face is a regular fixture on television.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he did make a statement on Fox. I sent his office a message. I will say this out loud. I always send a message and I say jokingly, do I need to refer to the congressman as senator now? Right. And they sent me back and said, we're going to stay with our comment that Congressman Collins said on Fox. He did say when he was asked, he would be open to discussing that seat. So
he said he would be honored.
Right.
The way I thought
You're probably right. I read the article.
Yeah, they called him, and I heard it live when I was
He did an
driving.
interview from Phoenix or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. But the district he comes from, I mean, they would then appoint someone to fill that, and
No, we'd have a special election.
Is that a safe district for Republicans?
Well, that's
Bill said he
happens to
thought
be
it
where we're
was.
at, the
Okay.
9th.
So is that
That's another thing in play. The 9th district is a safe Republican district.
Yeah.
Third most conservative district in the United States, congressional district. That's another thing that comes into play. So if Collins becomes the senator, I think he could win a statewide election. That's a plus. Then this district here, the 9th district where we're at, would safely go to a Republican. So
who could step into his shoes here, do you think?
I don't know, because I'll tell you what, that rumbling is not started yet. It will start close to right after Labor Day here. I think the governor's going to wait for Labor Day to get, I don't think we're going to get a surprise over the weekend. And as soon as Collins would be picked, that rumbling would start.
I think that's the real question.
You know what I mean?
As to who's going to take the rep seat, the District 9 seat. I
All right, I lead the league on going out on the limb. So I'm going to go way out on the limb here.
Yeah,
Okay?
we find you under trees and broken
Yes,
branches.
I'm going to go way out on the
Yes,
limb.
yes, okay.
If, I don't say he's going to win, but if Congressman Doug Collins wins or is appointed, former Congressman Paul Brown will run again in this district. And
Oh,
he did.
boy.
That's I didn't say he'll run again. Watch it
yeah.
say. How are you, Jane?
Good.
Well, what do you
Well.
think about all of this?
Pretty interesting. Y'all take the.
No,
thing
would you
here.
would you be
I think
okay?
Doug
You
Collins
said
is
Collins was on
great
your list.
to be the senator. First, when Bill, we were talking, I said, why would he want to leave the House, because we're low there anyway? And he said, oh, it'd be easy. There wouldn't be a trouble of getting another Republican in his place in the House. So having him over at the Senate, I think, would be great.
We've talked on the panel before that the plum is the Senate seat.
Yeah.
I mean, the House really,
Yeah.
the House is the House.
It's got more
there are a lot
whatever.
of people that say, well, the House is irrelevant.
Well,
the
I'm gonna
Senate is where all of the
Senate's
rubber
a
meets the
Supreme
road.
Court.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Because
this.
it's more
Supreme Court.
Right,
prestigious.
Supreme
There's
Court,
only
every.
Supreme Court, federal
Yeah,
judges,
yeah.
all of the appointees.
more
But
power.
I'm going to say this, and I said this when the Democrats took the House back, okay, and I found out Congressman Collins was going to be the ranking member on the Judiciary Committee for the Republicans. I said it on this show a year ago. Would he be the guy to really take that on, really battle, push back? And he has. He has been. He has done an amazing job pushing back against Jerry Nadler and not just letting it go. I give him that.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
mean, it wasn't take the helm. It was what you really got into was, is he the guy that's going to protect the president?
Right, exactly.
Well, yeah, leader of the
that's the
opposition,
tack
if you
that
will.
you took, and
Yes.
I think that that's the case.
Yeah, and the British, he'd be the opposition leader on that committee.
Okay, that was on the list. We've solved that. That's solved. How do you like that?
Done,
We're
next.
we're going to go away. We solved that one.
Who's this Brown character?
Oh, now you backed that Brown.
I don't know.
You got to look
Yeah.
it up. Paul Brown was it the 7th district? Or did he used to be the 7th?
We
or-
don't
don't
even
know
know him.
He's
so
Congressman
we don't
Paul
know.
Brown. He used to be 7th
Seventh.
district. I think it's 7th district out there in Athens, right?
Yep.
Used to be the congressman out there. He, I think,
Republican.
a couple terms, and he resigned his congressional seat to run for Senate when Zaxby Chambliss was open seat. That's David Perdue now has, and he resigned to run for Senate unsuccessfully. And then 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago or 4 years ago? He made an attempt in this district to run against Collins. So that's where I'm going with that.
The thing that solidified it for me with Doug Collins was the governor's not going to put a plug figure in there just to fill the gap until the next election.
No,
I think he's going to put someone in there that he thinks can win and establish him, and even establish himself more.
Yeah, I think that's Brian's point.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, and Congressman Collins, and let's look at this, the 2020 election. I think I'm not going to get into strategically doing something, but I think Johnny has resigned to give enough time for somebody to get in the position, get the campaign money they need to get built up to run statewide, and also I do think no matter. Sarah Riggs Amico has come out and she's running against David Perdue.
David Perdue, yeah.
She ran for lieutenant governor last time against Duncan. But anyhow, what I think is the Republicans and you're going to go pull the lever. I still say pull the lever. I don't know, push the
That
button.
works. There's
I
no
still pull the
lever anymore.
Right, but you're still going to go pull the lever for Donald Trump, David Perdue, and now Doug Collins. So I think not just to say that Collins couldn't win on his own, but I think they feel a Republican sweep is in the cards. I really do, and that could pull that 2 Senate seat. You understand where I'm going with that?
Yeah, just a quick question before we move on to something else. If everything falls into play like we have speculated, does the Georgia Speaker come into play any place for that House of Representatives seat?
You really want to go there right now?
Well, we don't have to. No,
I don't know.
Let's save that for a rainy day.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't know.
I know you don't know.
I don't know, but
I know you don't
boy,
know.
you
but-
gave me something to go think about.
I mean,
Yeah,
All right, Rick, I like that.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Probably
Okay.
not.
I was going to ask you about him for this seat, but he's not. I think statewide electable.
You know what I will say, and
After all.
I don't know. I mean, our representative here, state representative, Georgia House Speaker David Ralston. To me, if he's in about the best seat and position you can be in the state. I mean, that's so. I don't know why
I
he
think
would.
he's happy there.
Yeah,
I don't
there
think
you go. I think you go with that. So I don't know why he would even have interest in moving out of that.
if you ask him, he will. That's what he'll say.
What?
He said, "Why would I want to leave what
Yeah,
I got now?
exactly.
I'm in a great spot." You
And
know.
I think with some of the stuff that's been thrown up against him the last year or two, that probably on a statewide basis,
Yeah, that's a little baggage that he has to, shuffle around with.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, let's go. I want to go with one more, and then I want to make sure you guys any subject you want. But how about the fact that was it 3 minutes that Joe Biden stood
Oh,
on the
man.
stage and gave an emotional story
I don't
about
want
his.
the medal, sir.
I had to watch that 3 dadgum times. 3 different shows.
Why did you watch? Oh, you just watched it on
I mean, I was
It's deja
different.
vu
They
all
were.
over
I was
again.
going,
You've seen it 10
ay,
times.
but I thought I'm going to watch him make a fool of himself one more time.
Wow.
Just can't get enough of that fool.
Now, come on, he's a senior citizen.
What do you
Come
think?
on, he's gonna cut him some slack.
Seasoned. Yeah.
What do I honestly think? I honestly think. Listen, what did he say? This is the truth as a Biden. This is my Biden truth. or
Right?
something
Yeah, I remember he
ridiculous.
said like that.
I think he is a bona fide, certified liar over gobs.
Oh, he's
of
got
stuff.
papers, right? Bona
Okay,
fide,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He is certified.
He's an embellisher.
He is
He's a storyteller.
registered. He is a liar.
Storyteller.
He spins a yarn.
This guy is so nice. I don't know if everyone knows that, but you just found it out. Anyone who
We just found out how nice you
Yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah.
That's the nice guy on the panel over there.
he's a liar. He's calculating more than maybe we think. But he is the biggest one, and the biggest one is he is mentally deranged.
Got it.
I think he's down 2 batteries. Though.
Yeah,
I will tell
and
you.
he only had one.
I will tell you this is pretty bad when the Washington Post, which is on your
Wapo came out and
yeah,
hammered him.
yeah, which is on your Democrat side,
Woo!
just chopped him all up. I was like, whoa! I mean, they dissected everything he said.
You know what
I
that
mean,
means? The party wants him out of there.
Is he
Yeah,
through?
the
They've
panic
given
button is
they've
being
given him
punched
permission to
regularly
do
now.
that.
Is he
This term.
through?
Yes.
You think so? He's done.
Are you going to take it as a personal affront if I come over and sniff your hair?
So is
You want a
he-
piece of me? Joe, I didn't say that. Jeez.
you guys are going to have to get yourself under control.
This is how we act when you're gone.
That's what I'm thinking.
Wasn't
All
that
right,
Charleston
all right.
Heston? No.
Bring it back.
The back
Bring it
alley.
back. Bring it back there.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
right.
So the
Serenity
debate's coming
now.
up. You think Joe's done now? This story, you think he's done?
What,
Joe is
Because-
going to no.
He's gonna
not
dwindle
now.
down.
He's going to. I mean, he's going to
It's
hang
inevitable.
around. But I think it's inevitable. I really
Are
do.
are they pushing upward just just one notch at a time to position Warren as the front runner? Do you see that? I somewhat do.
Who cares?
because
Yeah,
it
who
do-
cares?
I mean, who cares? But I'm not saying let's not. I don't want to argue this, but out of the Democrat group that's running, she
I
is
can't
getting the
stand
crowd.
to hear that
She's
woman
getting
talk.
she's what you would call crowds. She's getting them. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of the group that's running, she's getting them.
She's the only one. She's the only candidate from the get-go that's at least, regardless of whether you agree with them or not, had some policies.
We've
that
said that all along.
had a platform that
Exactly.
she runs on.
Albeit.
Yeah, but she's a policy
Exactly,
woman.
albeit.
I mean,
that's
she's
right.
got
Yeah,
this,
but
this,
whoever-
this, this. I
who-
mean, it's all crap. I mean, it's just.
I
I'm
didn't say you had to
thinking-
agree with it. Yeah,
I'm thinking out of left field. Does Joe survive? I don't know. I don't know if he'll make it. But if he does, I'm thinking Joe and Elizabeth Warren on a ticket.
That'd be it.
okay.
Well,
All right.
I'm with him. It doesn't matter who's running. Isn't it ironic that the Dems tried to make Trump look like he was Amendment 25, and here's Joe out there spouting for the Dems. They
Hey,
were
wait a
trying-
minute. Let me tell you something. You crash an economy, and the American people will vote for anybody. Okay? History repeats itself because we crash an economy, and you got a no-name person that nobody knew anything about, and his name was Barack Hussein Obama. So do not get comfortable. No, that's just my
Yeah.
thing. Do not get comfortable.
Exactly.
In this whole situation.
Yeah.
The only
Don't
thing
count
they,
your chickens.
right. The only thing they really have to do is crash the economy.
Yeah.
And they've been trying.
They're
Community.
rumbles. They're trying to.
He was a world-renowned community organizer.
In his
Excuse
own
me.
mind.
Excuse me.
That is now up in Martha's Vineyard with a $14.7 million.
Well, we're moving
dollar
on.
house.
Boy, are we talking hypocrite?
All right, so
How big a house do you need?
all right. Before we get to Comey, because I just feel it in the air. Somebody wants to talk
The
about
elephant in
that.
the room.
Comey is
Right,
coming.
Comey. All right, so what's with Fox News? Now I've said jokingly that I call them fixed news. All right, jokingly they're fixed. What's with Fox News? The president's come out. What's going on there right now with Fox?
I don't know what precipitated it. I mean, he got a few bad stories or something, but yeah, suddenly he's kind of like just pounding them. And Cavuto yesterday when he signed off, oh my gosh.
I didn't see it, but
Crucified
Cavuto's
him.
never been a
Trump?
Trump.
Yeah.
He's never been a-
never Trumper.
Well, I know he is, but I mean, he said, you said you were going to get the Mexicans to pay for the wall. We're paying.
Right,
all
right,
this stuff.
so-
Yeah, he really went through a litany
And we're
of
paying
things.
for the tariffs.
Yeah, and he
out
said,
of
if I
China,
report
you're
stuff
paying.
that you don't like, that's tough. That's what I do, and
Which
so
is-
he really read the riot act. So
So
I
what
don't
say
know. I
you?
don't know what precipitated it. Do you?
He's never liked him.
I'm saying
He's just feeling free to say
Trump's
it.
statements about Fox.
Oh, I
don't
didn't
know.
hear
You're
that.
talking about when
Tell
he
me
was.
what he
You're talking
said.
about
I
with the
didn't-
helicopter blade in the background, and he was doing the presser.
What did he
out
say
there.
about Fox?
Yeah,
he went through the contributors one by one and said, "This guy doesn't like me. This guy's a good guy. This guy's a good guy. I like Tucker. I like Hannity.
Hannity.
I like Laura, but that guy at 5 o'clock. Juan
Oh,
Williams,
Shepard Smith.
Oh, Juan
Oh,
Williams.
5 o'clock's Juan.
Juan
Shepard's
Williams.
before.
He
Oh,
doesn't.
Smith,
He
Cavuto.
doesn't. He never says anything. Yeah.
Yeah, Leland Vittert.
Leland.
well, I will
Yeah.
tell you this: it's
Who's that?
two weekends, not this past
You're right.
weekend.
I've
Weekend
noticed
before that was recession weekend. All the news channels.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
recession weekend. All the Sunday shows was recession. The inverted yield curve. Did I get that right? Is it,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It was for
10
2
to-
hours. It
10
went
to.
into negative. So
Like
anyhow,
Dr. Pepper.
they
10, 2,
did
and
the.
4.
They did. I called it recession weekend. Okay, so I happened to be in a household. That Fox comes on at 6 in the morning and goes off at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like,
Wait a minute. Is there something wrong with that?
so I happened. So this particular Saturday, Fox participated. I'm sitting there and I'm listening. Throughout the day, Fox participated in recession weekend just like everybody else, as strong as they could. Fox has the independent voters, okay, and they're I believe, this is my opinion, hashtag deep state corporate corrupt media. That's who they are, all of them, including Fox. They're corporate corrupt media. Fox is playing their role. That's my opinion in this.
The way I look at it, hadn't thought much about this, but I've been noticing the negative statements about Trump from certain people. But doesn't that give them a bit of a legitimacy, because they're not just in the can?
They're
what
in
they're doing.
balance.
They're not in the can.
That's why
Yeah,
they
so
do
they're
it.
saying, hey, whereas the other ones, if they do invite a conservative one, they annihilate them with the sledgehammer. I mean, you know, and so there's that. There's
And-
that
Yeah,
aspect.
and Rupert Murdoch's kids.
Oh,
who are
they're
running the show.
awful.
I mean, the
They're
boys.
changing
there's
the-
two boys. You know, they're I think fairly middle of the road, but they're married to two women who are like Hillary supporters.
They're
Right.
I mean, so at home they're getting like,
They're
you know,
way
come
over
on,
there.
bear down, you know.
What topic did you want to cover this morning?
well, we got to get into the big C guy, JC.
Go for it.
No,
JC and the
someone-
Sunshine Band.
Yeah,
oh,
what-
that was Casey.
I think they didn't prosecute. I was listening to is Joe DeGeneva the attorney?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. He and his wife said it perfectly. It wasn't a slam dunk, and they don't want to risk indicting him on, because they can say, well, were they personal things he wrote in his book, and
Yeah, were they
were
classified
they
at
not?
times?
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
And then our favorite friend, the professor.
So you kindly get an understanding why the Department of Justice is
Yeah,
not
I
gonna-
do. And the professor said, what's his
Dershowitz?
name? No, the guy that we love. Anyway.
Oh, Victor Hansen?
Yeah.
Victor Davis.
He said it perfectly. He said, first of all, they had these 6 or 5 notes, and who is they? They classified 2 of them, non-classified 3 of them. He said, who's they? Who is they? And then they classified them after the fact. So I'd never heard that.
Yeah.
So they say they cannot get Comey. There's too much wishy-washy, and I think that 76 page or whatever it was of Horowitz absolutely ground him up and spit him out. And they're going to get him. I bet that man will go to jail.
Yeah, I thought it was really rich yesterday when he came out with those tweets saying,
God.
okay, everybody step forward and give me my apologies now.
The nerve.
That
get it.
just
Someone
really...
says, how do you define narcissist? You know?
Well, some would say him, some would say Trump. I mean, you get people on both sides.
There are good narcissists and bad narcissists.
That's narcissist.
No,
Yeah,
that's
right.
not. We have our good and bad and all. Everything
Kiss
is.
a narcissist.
Do what?
Would you kiss a narcissist?
All right. So, what say you there, Rick? I know. What do you think about the report? Where do you think that leaves things?
First thing I did was I went and reread the bio and the work background of John Durham. And I'm telling you, this guy is a hound dog.
Yeah.
And I think where they really are going to sink their teeth into it is the what was it called? Operation Russian with the dossier. When they threw the dossier,
Steele dossier?
yeah, they had a name for it. They had
They did have a name,
Whatever
but I
it is.
can't pull it
I
up.
don't know.
anyway, he's investigating that, and I think when that report comes out, and I even went to try to find out if there's other reports that the IG was doing, the Inspector General, and there was virtually nothing. So I think this was just kind of the opening salvo.
Well, is Durham
With Comey?
an IG? Or
No.
Horowitz the IG? And
Earl-
Durham is just a special prosecutor.
He is a special prosecutor, and he was God, what is? Will you look that up? It's killing me, Josh. The name of that it's so much in the news, and I can't think of the name of it now. But anyway, I think Durham is going to come out with both guns blazing.
Yeah, and I'd agree with what Jane said. I think they want to have an airtight case because he's such a prominent figure.
Mm-hmm.
He played such a prominent role in the Russian investigation, Hillary thing. They want to have,
They want him to go down.
yeah.
There was a side of me that said, I'm wondering if the DOJ has painted themselves over the years in such a tight corner that if they bring one guy down, then all of a
the
sudden,
floodgates.
everybody's going to be ratting on everybody, and they're going to be in court. But isn't that what we want? We want them to drain the swamp.
Well, in it just
Did you ever think about it that way?
in just an overall general view of it, I do think it's very clear. We've known this for quite some time, but I think the report, it's very clear that Comey really tainted the FBI, and he hurt the FBI in a way that I personally think we've got to go from the top to. I'm not a Christopher Wray fan.
Oh, that
right.
man is deep state.
So I
black
think he
hat.
really hurt it to the point.
Huh? Oh.
Who were you looking for?
If you go to John Durham Wikipedia in the first paragraph, it's in there. John Durham Wikipedia site.
So I think he just really exposed how Comey really hurt the FBI and these agencies. Just, is there a deep state? Yes. I mean, we know that, and we see that.
Here's a question for you. Since you're the only one who watches the other side of the mountain, do you think?
Other side of the moon.
Yeah, right. When they
the
were
dark side of the moon.
when Fox was on, here's 76 pages, and here's this Trump's attorney. What's his name? I mean, he was furious. He was saying, "Bam." Do you think they reported any of that on the? Or do you know if they? I said, Bill. These people don't know any of this.
Let's say no, and let's say Joe Scarborough and his gang of evil ones this morning said the report vindicated Comey.
Oh
course it did.
He
my
used that word.
gosh!
Operation Crossfire.
Yeah,
That's it.
Crossfire.
Crossfire Hurricane.
Yes,
Thank you, Doug.
yes,
Rolling
Comey
Stones.
is vindicated.
Yeah.
They did,
Vindicated
yeah.
him.
It is.
Oh,
They were
my
making fun of you and I the way we look at it.
You and me.
They were coming after us. Comey, you know, they were in the positive for James Comey. Period. Just like that. And you just wonder to yourself, how can you really live with yourself? Well, I know how they do. They go down the hall and they pick up that white envelope and they look in there and say, "Damn, I'll lie again Monday."
You know what?
I mean, you know,
think
that's
about
how much
this.
I'm getting paid.
They get paid in cash?
Yeah, I'll lie. Direct deposit.
Think about this guy was reading this about his own son. Let's do a hypothetical here. Do you think he would say these 76 pages vindicated my son? No, he wouldn't. He'd be furious. Think about that.
What do you think about-
how's their mind work? Go ahead.
Lawrence O'Donnell and Rachel Maddow talking about.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
I just
so
want your quick take on
no, Lawrence. I did a segment the other day on Lawrence O'Donnell. He comes out and he reads the retraction. Did you hear it?
Oh.
I did.
But it
What a
didn't
tap
say
dance.
anything.
But
It
here's
may
the
be
thing.
true,
No, here's the
but
thing.
we
What he
don't
did, if you
know.
watch it,
Jeez.
is it had the it was under the guise like I made a mistake because the journalistic integrity of MSNBC is so high, right?
I didn't follow the proper verification
Right.
process.
If I would have that we have in place here,
To stop-
I would not have been allowed to do right.
I would not have been allowed to report this.
Right, exactly. So on one hand, he's saying, "I'm sorry for lying," but then he's saying, "This network has such, you know, a what's the word I'm looking for, Josh? Because it was the other day. But they're
High
High
standards.
standard.
the
yeah.
standards of this net, and I that's what Josh put on the segment we put out. So we found out MSNBC has standards.
Look, the
Well,
only
you think they would have fired him for not following their standards?
the only show on MSNBC that's got any following at all is Rachel Madcow.
Yeah.
So what does he do? He appears on her show and makes that statement, and then does
And
the
she acted
retract.
stunned.
Then he does the retraction on his show where nobody is following.
Right. Plus, he didn't say it wasn't true. He said he just left it like it really was true. That's the impression, right?
Yeah.
It really, but I shouldn't have said it so
My
soon.
source, singular. My source could have been the milkman.
Well, you know, I love this, and I don't want to run out of time on subjects, but I love this is they'll come up
We'll
on
never
there.
do that.
No, but they'll come up on the news like, Deutsche Bank says they have tax returns. Yes, you got a loan there. If you went and bought a house, you submitted three years tax returns.
Yeah.
If you're doing business, you submit tax. If you get a loan like millions of people in the world, you submit this paper, but they put it up. Deutsche Bank says they have Trump's tax returns. Yes,
And
he got
now-
a loan there.
And now
He
the
had-
howls from the left are, they're slow walking it. You know, they're just taking their time. getting
And
this
there
out.
were co-signers.
All the oligarchs. All
And they
those
were
darn oligarchs.
And Mad Cow goes, oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Oligarchs.
I think she was even just kind of going,
How many oligarchs
really?
were there?
How many oligarchs does it take to get Trump alone?
That's right. That's right.
Talking about
Hey,
Trebek.
did you hear the Obamas are back in the political hemisphere?
No, tell us about it, Bruce.
They said are
Just setting
coming
it.
out. And he's
Huh?
gonna like hit the campaign trail
Oh.
because he's got to pay for that house in Massachusetts. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
thought the
yeah.
He's
$65 million
joining with,
Netflix book deal paid for it.
Oh, that a $65 million joint book
it's
deal
just
for
pay
Michelle
money. It's
and
it's
him.
just
Muchel.
Yeah, the Netflix thing was on top of that.
Yeah.
I don't even. The guy was handing out pamphlets on the corner.
Yeah.
He's never had a job handing out pamphlets. Then became a Chicago state senator,
God for
By default.
and then
Look at his-
95% of the time voted, present. He never went
Right.
yes or
right.
no.
I was going to say, look at his voting record.
and then he ended up running against Alan Keyes. Let's not go there. Okay.
Alan Keyes.
Okay. So Lawrence O'Donnell, we got that. You do know that they have breaking news that Trump has mentioned. They've looked at it. Trump has mentioned his businesses in the area 70 times. So they're doing a value. They're putting the value of the marketing value of what Trump does every time he mentions one of his golf courses. So they went back and counted every time he mentions them, and they're going to put a value together of what he has gained as president of the United States by mentioning.
Yeah, that's
They're
about
crazy.
That's about
They're
as exact,
crazy as
If-
hell.
That's about as exact as figure out where this hurricane's going to hit.
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
You know what? Oh,
Crossfire
don't get me
hurricane.
started.
How
You
about
know,
the Canadian
okay.
PM who's getting absolutely hammered for coming out publicly and saying, I hope Hurricane Dorian has a direct hit on Mar-a-Lago. This is the ex-Prime Minister of Canada.
Now
That
you
could
understand-
clean out the bed bugs.
Yeah.
If
Now
you
know
know,
why
a
she
nice
was
shot
only
at
PM for
Mar-a-Lago.
5 months.
That's
Huh?
right, exactly.
Now you understand why she was only PM for 5 months.
Yeah.
Well, it could wash out the bed bugs, and there are other sanitary violations.
Bed
that
bugs
they-
swim.
Anyhow, so I said this. I always love an opportunity to say, "I not told you so." No, I don't want to do that. That I shouldn't love that. But I do like. I do.
Way
like
to
a
go,
good-
Lawrence. You just did.
Did I previously mention?
I do like to say I could have been close to right. Now, a couple days ago on the show, as Dorian is making their way up through and it missed Puerto Rico, and they're in the newsroom saying, darn, we wanted to rip Puerto Rico apart because this could have been good for whatever.
There would have
So-
been no FEMA dollars left because
Right.
you put them at
Well,
the
they already had their
border.
news
Yes,
station
yeah,
there.
they're ready to
They were
go.
all ready to-
But as it missed Puerto Rico
Stand in
and
the water.
headed for Florida, I said 2 days ago, got the tape to say it. I said, the media will say that this is a campaign, this is a great opportunity, and Trump will treat it like a campaign opportunity, which will, if Ron DeSantis, if this hits Florida the way I think it will, and Ron DeSantis, the governor down there, handles it well, the president handles it well, Florida will be for Donald Trump. Donald Trump will finalize Florida just in the handling of this hurricane if it's that big.
He canceled Poland.
He canceled
Right.
Poland, right?
Do you know what the MSNBC crowd did? They said the only reason he canceled Poland is he actually is treating this hurricane as like one of his campaign rallies.
Oh.
That they're So, all right, we don't have a lot of time, and I don't want Rick. Did you have a subject that you didn't want to miss out on this?
No,
Yeah,
I
he's
had
got good notes.
no. I just there was a couple of really good quotes, and I don't take credit for them, but I take credit for reading them. The green, we don't need to go into them because they speak for themselves. The Green New Deal is the smuggling mechanism for socialism.
Yeah,
Think
it's
about
not
that.
about environment. It's all about the changing the economic approach of this
Exactly, and there's a pretty good article, even though I really don't subscribe to following Tom Donahue, the head of the U.S. Chamber.
Right.
He really did come out with a good article, and if you take time to look at it, I won't. It's too long to go into now, but Mike Huckabee, I think, is really good old Arkansas boy, right?
Love him.
He really says some profound things, and there was a piece that he wrote the other day This I think encapsulates the whole essence of what we
He's
go through
good.
on a daily basis. And he says, a society. Listen to this, really though. A society that isn't rooted in the absolute morality of faith in God and collective belief in the sacred value of human life will always tend toward division and incivility, regardless of who is in political power or who writes our textbooks and newspapers. I really think that is a really succinct way of telling people the moral decay of this country is rampant.
We never talk about the cause, but we always think we have no solutions, but we think we do with bigger and greater government, but never talk about the cause of the problems. Bruce, is there anything particularly as a subject matter you wanted to get into this morning?
No, I got the Obamas, and we did, like Johnny, I think we hit a lot of good ones today.
Okay, well, you had the big one, Comey. You went with the big JC.
Oh,
you
like
said.
I'm the first one that.
Well, you did. You said
We all have Comey on our head up here. Let's talk about Comey.
Well, he's a
You
big
do
guy.
know people see that, Jen.
He's 6'6".
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You were always
air
on
balls,
my
air
mind.
balls, missed shots.
I can't wait.
Guy hit the 3-pointer, whatever you call them these days.
Well, my
Winners or
airball
losers.
ties into exactly what he was saying. I don't know if you guys read the story about Georgetown, Texas. You read about that little
No.
town down there? Well, in 2012, they started a whole big campaign to get away from fossil fuels. So they went solar and wind big time. Well, guess what? It's not working out.
How's this
Municipal
working for you?
utility is $7 million in arrears, in the red, losing money. So now they've had to reconnect to the grid, so they get electricity from fossil fuels and this and that and the other thing. And they said if they had succeeded in doing this plan, they would have needed $400 million to build a battery farm that would, when the wind stopped and the sun wasn't shining that day, would get them through.
doing
So
the
on a
wind
cold
at
winter
night.
day, it would have lasted 12 hours.
right.
And they would have froze their butts off. So, Green New Deal?
Or all those electric cars would have been stalled in the streets.
Yeah. And my home run is, here in Georgia, there was a bus driver down in Bartow County who saved this girl from getting hit by a pickup that was going around a stop bus. The bus driver saw this girl walking, and I think the girl was looking at something, not paying attention. Pickup was coming around the bus in violation of, you stop
Right,
behind buses.
right.
And she blasted the horn. The kid jumped up and got out of the way at the last second. It was pretty close. So kudos to her. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that, kind of makes your day. But,
Good.
people that don't stop for buses, I mean, they should be sent to prison. They really
guy
should.
disconnected his battery and took the plate off of his truck too, and said it couldn't have been me because my truck won't start.
What a loser.
Good one, Bruce. And how about you there,
Well,
young
I
man?
had 3 losers just in case
Three
we got
losers?
to some of these. So
Bad
we've already,
week.
We already did the Biden loser. We already did the Lawrence O'Donnell loser. We already did the Comey loser.
What you got?
So I'm going with Donnie Deutsch, who just got his 5th television show. Count him, Donnie. 5. He's a never Trumper. Canceled from MSNBC.
Does everybody know who Donnie Deutsch is?
And
know.
just this week, he was going to have Scaramucci on.
That's right.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
the mooch.
How do you get a show canceled on MSNBC? Well, I don't know. Anyway, what's that?
Didn't follow the
Yeah,
standards.
that's right. Didn't follow the standards. And my winner is Boris Johnson.
Yay!
Yeah, Boris, the Prime Minister of Britain, got the Queen to side with him, saying that he wanted to postpone Parliament
Dissolve Parliament.
until October the 14th, which is 2 weeks behind the date where they will exit. The Brexit will take effect. He only wants 2 weeks of discussion because he feels that it's just beating a dead horse, and he got the Queen to side with him. Then he got a court in Scotland to wipe out a challenge, and said that there is no injunctive relief here.
So we're looking at a no-deal Brexit.
No, I disagree. The EU
You're
will,
allowed.
The EU will do something. They've known that Parliament was going to obstruct all along, and this right here, the EU is sitting up and taking notice. That's my opinion. I think he will get a deal because he has done everything he has to do in the chain to make it happen, and that it's you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think there'll be a deal.
In the famous words of our president, we'll see what happens.
There you go. Jane, what do you got?
I got a warning.
A
big
Wait, you just
warning.
we do
Heads
winners and
up.
losers. Jane's got
got
the
a
new
warning.
segment called a warning.
Can you put the warning alarm up real quickly?
Right,
Go ahead.
right. The warning is beware of social indexing. And just to hit the high points, in China now you're social indexed. So you have your phone. If you are seen talking to a person whom they deem an undesirable, that's been criticized, your index goes down. If you do anything at all that they do not deem, I've forgotten all the things that you can do, which are hundreds and hundreds of them. If you make a statement on social media that's just a little bit, your social index goes down. And when it gets so low, you cannot get on public transportation. They prohibit you from getting a job. Now, if you want to see all this, look up Glenn Beck on social indexing in China, and he will lay it out, and it is there now. And of course, it's starting here. Sort of. I mean, you got Uber and all that. They're going to give us a social index. That's just little.
And China's on the way to having 600 million cameras throughout
Listen,
the country with
and
face
they watch
recognition.
and if they see you on a camera talking with someone they don't like, then you will not have a job. You won't. They are going to put notes on your neighbor's houses saying,
And they can read lips with this facial
do
recognition.
not talk to this person. They're going to ostracize them. So it's coming, and you've got everyone getting on YouTube. They're taking the channels off. Just beware. We cannot let this happen. It's going to happen fast.
All right, folks, we have our North Georgia Senior Living coming up with Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall. We have our Pet of the Week here, so we got to move along. I'm your host, BKP. Let me just say something. Two quick things. This past week, there was a story on Ring, your doorbell with the video camera. They have signed an agreement with thousands of law enforcement agencies across the country to use your video when needed.
Without our permission? I mean,
They send you an email.
Oh, and
It's-
say we are going to.
Yes, yeah, exactly. You look that up.
Okay.
Exactly. That's something to look. But the thing I say is, I always get amazed at how we sit back and cheer these things as these great things that are, innovation and safety for our children, this
Crime
and that.
fighting.
It's just one more way the government watches us. But
They know who goes in our house.
I
now.
can't. I'm not going to tell you like where I live, but where I live, the doorbell, where it would be. I don't need a doorbell. Okay, my dog been my doorbell for 14 years.
Isn't that your gun
So-
sport?
Right, exactly. So anyhow, the where the doorbell would go, right across the street, I have a guy that has my neighbor. Love the guy, the family. They're farmers, and they probably keep 19, 20 head of cattle. So what I decided is I am getting the Ring doorbell, and coming to you soon is cow cam. Okay, I'm doing 24 hours of cow cam. It's just going to be cows in the field. You can watch them live.
Does
So
it have a methane gauge
we may have to put that up.
on the cow field?
But cow cam is coming. All right, I've got to go, but I want to say to all of you out there, I appreciate Tom down in Florida. You always send nice notes, so many of you. I want to thank these guys. All right, not to go too deep, just trying to handle
give
some
them too
personal,
much credit.
Come on, go
just
deep.
trying to handle some personal things right now. Back and forth across the country doing some things, and I can count on these three here, and I appreciate them very much. And I want to thank all the entire staff at FYN. We've been preparing. We believe in organization. That's the thing we preach at our company is organization. And I tell you what, the entire staff at FYN with me, they can actually do things without me, and it's shooting my nerves. Okay? But they're handling it, doing a great job. So go to fetchyournews.com. Great content. I will be back in the studio Monday morning, but right after these messages, I'll have Jesse Barton. Again, thank you. Thank everybody. Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director for Cameron Hall. I think I got it right. We'll see when we return.